Hello beautiful people, my name is Dimpo and welcome to Mind Chats, where we talk about teen mental health until it is no longer taboo, weird or cringy. Now, have you ever wondered if your teen is just having a rough week or if something deeper might be going on? In today's video, we're talking about how to recognize signs of anxiety and depression in teenagers. Because sometimes the signs are easy to miss and can be easily explained off as something else. So whether you're a parent, teacher, or even a teen trying to understand yourself better, this one's for you. Now, mental health isn't just an adult thing. This is one of the biggest myths or misconceptions out there about teenagers. In fact, more teens than ever are struggling, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic, and a lot of them don't know how to ask for help. So it is parents, guardians, and educators that need to be able to spot these signs in teenagers, because the earlier that happens, the sooner we can support them. And remember, this isn't about labeling anyone. I know that there's a lot of stigma around having a diagnosis, as people tend to feel that they're walking around with a target or a big baggage on their back. And again, this isn't about creating labels. It is about showing up with the correct information, patience, and understanding. Okay, let's start with anxiety. It is important to note that anxiety is first and foremost an emotion, right? It is an emotion that is characterized by feelings of worry, nervousness, and uneasiness about something that may happen at present or in the future. How it becomes a disorder is when it becomes intense, excessive, and persistent in its frequency. And it is usually seen as worry and fear about everyday situations, right? Meaning that they can have an impact on your daily functioning. Now, physically, anxiety can show up as a fast heart rate, rapid breathing, sweating, and feeling exhausted at the end of the worrying episode. Anxiety can show up in a bunch of ways, such as constantly worrying or overthinking, even about small things. So for teenagers, this can be about their appearance, whether others like them or not, and if their joke was really funny or did people just laugh out of pity. Another sign is that they start avoiding certain situations like school, social events, or being in large crowds. They can have trouble sleeping, have racing thoughts, and even experience physical symptoms like stomach aches or headaches. Some teens may try to be perfect all the time because they are afraid of messing up. That is a sign of anxiety as well. It is called performance anxiety, and I see it a lot in teens that were top students in primary school and then struggle to adjust once they go to high school. Or in teens who may struggle academically but shine when it comes to sports or other extramurals, and now the thing that was once their pride and joy has become a source of worry and feelings of inadequacy for them, thus increasing their anxiety. Now, let's talk about common signs for depression. Depression doesn't always look like sadness, especially in teenagers, and one of the major signs of depression can be pulling away from friends and family and essentially isolating themselves, right? So you might see that your teen now spends a lot of their time alone in their room, and they decline attempts at connection from you or even others. They begin to lose interest in things that they used to love, and when you try to figure out what the reason is for this lack of interest, they will have little reason or justification for this, and will just say something along the lines of, I just don't want to do that anymore. Another sign of depression can be a change in their sleep cycle. Teenagers struggling with depression either sleep too much or too little. Insomnia is one of the biggest signs of depression, with up to 75% of people with depression reporting insomnia as a symptom. And this can include trouble falling asleep and staying asleep as well. On the other side of the spectrum, some teens with depression can use sleep as a coping mechanism and will, as a result, sleep too much. This is because when they are sleeping, they cannot feel any of the emotions, their thoughts stop, and this provides them with an escape and a break from their reality. Another often misunderstood symptom of depression in teens is them acting irritable, angry, or just seeming checked out or disinterested. And often this symptom in teenagers can get them a bad reputation for having an attitude or even seeming lazy. But the truth is that the combined symptoms of depression can be so overwhelming that teenagers become numb to their own emotions and any situations that they may find themselves in. which may look like they're checked out, but in fact they are trying to keep it all together and have little energy for normal day-to-day things. Okay, so you might be thinking to yourself, Dimple, aren't all the things that you just named normal teenager things? And that is a fair question. The key to differentiating between normal teen behavior and possible symptoms of anxiety or depression is how long the behavior lasts and how much it's affecting their daily life and functioning. Is it affecting their ability to concentrate in class? Are they coming up with excuses to miss school or hockey practice? And are these instances happening closer and closer to each other? Are they no longer motivated as they used to be to get good marks or be part of social situations? Is it starting to affect their daily routine, their eating habits, or even their general hygiene? If things feel off for more than a couple of weeks, or if they're really struggling to keep up with life, it might be time for a check-in. You can start with a simple conversation of, hey, I've noticed that you've had a different routine lately. What's happening? Or I've noticed that your sleep routine has changed. Are you getting enough rest? And then use their responses to prompt them even further, keeping in mind that the most important thing is to listen without judgment, to remind them that they're not alone and that you are there for them. If you want me to do a video on different communication strategies you could use with your teenagers, do let me know in the comment section below and I'll be happy to do that for you. So let's say you've noticed changes in your teen, you initiated the conversation, you checked in with them, and they let you know that they're not doing well. Where to from there? The good news is that you don't need to have all the answers. I know that there's a lot of pressure as parents to have answers and to know what to do in all situations, but the truth is that we are all human and we are learning along the journey, and being a teen parent in 2025 is not as easy as it seems. If your teen is grappling with something like bullying, performance anxiety, or general social anxiety, that is something that cannot be resolved in a day, and this is when you reach out to a counselor or a therapist. A lot of schools have an in-house counselor these days, so start there as that may be the most accessible option. Otherwise, you can go on to Psychology Today, which is a website where you can look through an assortment of counselors and therapists that may be in your area or with whom you can connect with online. I have personally used this site on a couple of occasions, and both times I was happy with the professional that I ended up with. And you can pick someone that falls into your affordability range as well. While waiting to link with a professional, you can encourage healthy habits such as creating a sleep routine, encouraging more movement or exercise, implementing screen breaks, and regular eating in line with a balanced diet. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and the more that we talk about it, the easier it will get. So if you or someone that you know needs support, there are amazing resources out there like Psychology Today, or you're welcome to check out the Counseling Hub, where they offer counseling sessions for as little as 50 Rand for an online session, or in person if you are in the Cape Town Woodstock area. You can find the Counseling Hub on Instagram and TikTok, or you're welcome to check out the Mindful Counseling Collection, where they provide online counseling services starting at 400 Rand for individual sessions, and they too can be found on all social media platforms. Well, that is it for today's episode. Comment below which possible sign for anxiety or depression stood out for you the most or even surprised you. And if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need it, and hit the subscribe button for more teen mental health content. As always, my name is Dimpo, and this was Mind Chats.